Cole Caufield. Oh, you know, you got to look back to Stéphane Richer, Craig. Stéphane Richer, the last guy to score 50 for this Montreal Canadiens team. What can you say about the season Cole Caufield has had for this Montreal Canadiens squad?
Well, when you think about Cole Caufield, you think about somebody that has this great joy of scoring goals. And for me, Jay, scoring 50 goals as a Montreal Canadien and then scoring 50 in front of those great Montreal Canadiens fans, it's completely different.
Cole Caufield just crossed a line that changes how the entire NHL looks at him, and it didn't happen quietly. In the middle of a high-pressure stretch, he reached a number that only elite scorers ever touch. The timing, the impact, and what followed inside the Canadiens' locker room all point to something bigger unfolding right now. And this story doesn't stop at 50.
Caufield scoring 50 at the Bell Center last night. What a scene that was.
Like, 50 is such a big number. Like 50 G's, man. That's so sick.
Crazy. And it's been, 30 years since Stéphane Richer did it, I think.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the Rocket was the first one to ever score.
Cole Caufield reached a major milestone when he scored his 50th goal of the season for the Montreal Canadiens. This number is important in the National Hockey League. Only a small group of players reach 50 goals in one season. This puts Cole Caufield among the top scorers in the league this year. The moment came late in the season when every game has strong impact on standings. Games where he created chances but did not score. There were periods where his numbers stayed low. Even then, his role on the team stayed steady. He continued to play on the power play. He kept getting time on the ice. This shows the coaching staff trusted his ability to produce over time. As the season moved forward, his performance changed. He started taking more shots. His shot attempts increased in each game. Many of these shots came from strong scoring areas. These include the slot and the face-off circles. Players who take shots from these areas often score more goals. This is a known pattern in hockey statistics. His scoring followed that pattern as the season continued. The Canadiens began using him more in key moments. When games were close, Caufield was on the ice. When the team needed offense, plays moved through him. This shows a shift in responsibility. He was not only finishing plays, he was also helping create them. His role became more central to the team's offense. The 50th goal came during this late season stretch. At this time, teams are fighting for position. Each game matters for playoff chances. Performances in these games are closely watched. A player scoring at a high rate now becomes a focus for other teams. This timing made the goal more important than if it came earlier in the season. Playoff hockey brings a different level of difficulty. Defenses become tighter. Time and space are limited. Scoring chances are harder to create. Despite this, players with high goal totals are expected to produce. This expectation now follows Caufield into every remaining game. His performance will be measured against this standard. The league context also matters. In recent NHL seasons, fewer players reach 50 goals. This makes each case more noticeable. It places Caufield in a smaller group of players for this season. Being part of that group brings more attention from teams and analysts. His performance is now tracked more closely. Teammates reacted to the goal during the game. On the bench, players showed recognition of the milestone. These reactions are part of team culture. They mark important moments in a season. At the same time, the game continued. The schedule did not stop. The team still had games to play. Caufield also said, "I just try to play my game and help the team win." This reflects a focus on team success. It is a common response from players during important moments. It keeps attention on results rather than personal numbers. Still, the milestone remains part of how his season is viewed. As teams prepare for upcoming games, Caufield's recent scoring becomes part of their analysis. His shot patterns are studied. His positioning is reviewed. Coaches use this information to adjust defensive plans. These adjustments begin quickly, especially late in the season. The 50th goal also becomes part of season records. Player performance over a full season is used in future planning. It affects contract discussions. It influences team decisions. High goal totals are important in these evaluations. This adds another layer to the impact of the milestone. The season continues after this moment. Games remain on the schedule. Standings are still changing. The milestone does not stop competition. It becomes part of the ongoing season. It adds to the data teams use as they prepare for the next game. At the same time, the attention around Caufield continues to grow.
We're back with Marty. And Marty, it's likely the Oilers will play Vegas, Anaheim, or Utah, who they're actually playing tonight, in the opening round of the playoffs. So which team do you think the Oilers should fear the most, and which should they hope to face?
Well, I think they should fear the most the Vegas Golden Knights. Look,
Connor McDavid just sent a message that is shaking the entire NHL, and it's aimed straight at the Golden Knights. As the playoff race tightens, every move, every shift, and every word is being watched closely. What he did on the ice, what followed after, is now driving a new narrative across the league, and the tension behind it is only getting stronger. Connor McDavid continues to lead the Edmonton Oilers during a critical point in the NHL season. In recent games, he recorded multiple assists and controlled offensive plays for long stretches. His puck movement and speed created repeated scoring chances. These performances came as the Western Conference standings remained tight, with playoff positions still shifting after each game. The Oilers have maintained one of the highest scoring rates in the league. Their offense is built around McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Both players are heavily involved in power play situations. McDavid's ice time has stayed above 22 minutes per game in recent matchups. This includes extended shifts during key moments, especially in close games where the outcome remains uncertain until late. After one of the recent games, McDavid addressed the pressure of the final stretch. He said, "Games are getting tighter and every mistake matters more." Now, this statement came as teams around Edmonton continued to push for playoff spots. The timing of this comment placed attention on how the Oilers are preparing for high-pressure matchups, especially against structured teams. The Vegas Golden Knights have shown a different approach. Their system focuses on defense and controlled transitions. They allow fewer high-danger scoring chances compared to many teams in the conference. Their defensive structure limits open ice, which directly affects fast players like McDavid. This approach has been consistent in both regular season and playoff games. The last playoff meeting between these teams remains a reference point. In 2023, Vegas eliminated Edmonton in 6 games. During that series, the Golden Knights reduced McDavid's space and forced plays along the boards. This strategy limited his ability to create speed through the neutral zone. That same system is now being discussed again as a possible factor in another matchup. Connor McDavid's recent performance data continues to shape this matchup discussion. He has recorded over 100 career playoff assists in fewer than 100 games. This places him among the fastest players in NHL history to reach that mark. His ability to create plays under pressure remains one of Edmonton's strongest assets, but past games against Vegas show how that impact can be reduced. Vegas uses a defensive system that limits speed through the neutral zone. Their players maintain tight gaps and force controlled entries. This reduces open space, which is where McDavid is most effective. Tracking data from previous matchups showed fewer high-speed rushes when facing Vegas compared to other teams. That pattern continues to be referenced in recent analysis. Edmonton's power play remains one of the most effective in the league. McDavid and Leon Draisaitl lead this unit with consistent puck movement and positioning. They convert at a high percentage during man advantage situations. However, Vegas has maintained a strong penalty kill. Their structure allows them to block passing lanes and clear rebounds quickly. This creates a direct clash between two top units. Physical play is another factor that continues to influence this potential series. Vegas applies pressure along the boards and in defensive zones. Their players engage in frequent puck battles and limit clean possession, Edmonton has shown. Strong offensive control, but under heavy physical pressure, turnovers have occurred. These moments often lead to quick scoring chances for opponents. Late game performance has also been tracked closely. Vegas has shown control in final periods, especially when protecting a lead. Their structure remains consistent and they limit risks. Edmonton has experienced variation in similar situations. Some games have included strong finishes, while others saw leads reduced during the final minutes. These patterns remain part of ongoing evaluation. McDavid also addressed execution after another recent game. He said, "We have to be sharper in key moments." This statement followed sequences where defensive gaps led to scoring chances against Edmonton. The comment has been repeated in multiple reports, especially when discussing matchups against teams with structured systems like Vegas. The Oilers continue to rely on their top players for scoring output. McDavid and Draisaitl remain central to offensive production. Supporting players contribute, but the majority of scoring chances still involve their top line Vegas in. Contrast rotates lines and maintains pressure across all units. This depth allows them to sustain performance throughout all periods. As playoff positions continue to change, the possibility of Edmonton facing Vegas remains active. Each game adds new data to this scenario. Analysts continue to compare systems, player performance, and past outcomes. The focus remains on how these two teams match up under playoff conditions. And that discussion continues to build.
Easter to you and everybody out there. Okay, so let's just kind of reset where we are in the Toronto search right now. First of all, no ask for permission yet. They have not asked anybody for permission to talk to anybody under contract with another team. After the change at the GM spot, Keith Pelly held a Zoom call with the members of the hockey operations department. And just from talking to a few people after it was over and in the last couple of days, it's pretty clear that they are expecting major change.
Something serious just happened inside the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was never meant to go public. A quiet meeting turned into a warning that shook the entire organization. Words were carefully chosen, but insiders say the message was clear. Bigger changes are already planned. Not now, but soon. And what happens next could completely change this team. What was said in that internal meeting is now driving the biggest story around Toronto. After the recent general manager change, leadership held a private Zoom call with the hockey operations staff. No official announcement followed. No press release was issued. But people inside that call came away with one strong belief: more changes are coming. The message was not direct, it was not loud, but it was clear through tone and wording. During the meeting, leadership said the organization will use our resources to the fullest capacity we can. That line stood out. It did not name a problem directly. Yet, multiple people understood what it meant. They felt the team has not been using its full potential. That reaction quickly spread beyond the room. Reports confirmed that staff members now expect even more changes than the one we already saw. This was not about one position. It pointed toward a wider shift inside the organization. A shift that could affect how decisions are made at every level. At the same time, no external moves have started yet. The report clearly stated that there has been no ask for permission yet to speak with candidates under contract with other teams. This detail matters. It shows that the process is still internal. Planning is happening first. Action will come later. That timing follows a pattern already seen in Toronto before. When Brendan Shanahan took control in 2014, he waited. He observed the team for one full season. Then changes came after the year ended. That same approach is now being discussed again. This means the current season is not the end of the story. It is the setup. Leadership is watching closely. They are gathering information, and they are deciding what needs to change once the season is over. Names have already started to surface in early discussions. Some reports mentioned Doug Armstrong, but insiders said the timing doesn't seem right. That reduces the chances of that move happening soon. At the same time, another name is gaining attention, an assistant general manager from the Florida Panthers. Insiders believe he's going to be a factor. What makes this situation more serious is the timing. The organization is not rushing into public moves. Instead, everything is being lined up quietly behind the scenes. The report made it clear that decisions are expected to come after the season ends. That delay is not random. It gives leadership time to fully review what has worked and what has not. This approach is common in the NHL. Teams often wait until the season is complete before making major structural changes. It allows a full evaluation. It also avoids disruption during important games. In this case, the signals from inside Toronto show that this evaluation is already happening. The meeting was not just a routine update, it was a message about direction. That direction is focused on how the organization operates. The statement about using resources fully points towards systems, not just results. It suggests that leadership is looking at how decisions are made, how data is used, and how different departments work together. These are not small adjustments. These are core changes that affect the entire structure. The discussion also included a renewed focus on modern tools. Leadership referenced the use of data and analytics. This connects to earlier changes made when Brendan Shanahan pushed the organization toward a more data-driven approach. Now, that same idea is being revisited. This suggests that leadership believes more can be done in that area. At the same time, the wider NHL is seeing similar movement. Other teams, including Nashville, are also searching for new leadership. Reports confirm that interviews have already taken place there. One request to speak with a current general manager was denied. This shows how competitive the market is becoming for experienced executives. This league-wide activity adds pressure to Toronto's timeline. When multiple teams are making changes, the available pool of candidates becomes smaller. That means decisions must be timed carefully. Acting too early or too late can affect the outcome. Right now, Toronto is choosing to prepare first. Inside the organization, the impact of these signals is already being felt. When leadership talks about major change, it creates uncertainty. Staff members understand that roles can shift, systems can change, expectations can increase. Even without official announcements, the message has reached every level. The key detail remains unchanged. No formal process has started yet. No candidates have been officially contacted. But the expectation is now public. People inside the organization believe that more changes are coming. That belief is based on what was said in that meeting and how it was said. And as the season moves forward, that belief continues to grow. Because once the season ends, the waiting stops. The planning phase turns into action. And everything that was discussed behind closed doors begins to take shape in real decisions.
You're just about to send your team out onto the ice, and you've got to tell them your boss just got fired. Good luck with that. That situation Craig Berube found himself in last night. To talk about it, here's the coach, Bruce Boudreau. Bruce, you went through a similar scenario in the past. What's that like?
Well, it's not a lot of fun, I can tell you that, and both for the coach and for the players, because A, you don't want to distract them from the game, but B, you start to think, okay, he was my guy. He was the guy I was hanging on to. If he's gone, what's my situation?
Shockwaves hit the Toronto Maple Leafs after a sudden front office move, and within hours, attention shifted straight to the bench. Pressure started building around Craig Berube as reports linked past NHL patterns to what could happen next. Nothing has been confirmed, but the silence from management is raising serious concern, and the situation is still unfolding. The focus around Craig Berube intensified immediately after the management change inside the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. In the NHL, when a general manager leaves or is removed, attention often shifts toward the head coach. This pattern has been observed in multiple teams over recent seasons. The Maple Leafs situation now follows that same structure, and it has placed Berube under direct scrutiny. Recent team performance added to this pressure. The Maple Leafs have recorded mixed results in their last few games. In one match, they secured a 2-1 overtime win against the Anaheim Ducks. Reuters reported, John Tavares nets OT winner, Maple Leafs down Ducks. That result showed the team's ability to close tight games, but it did not remove concerns about consistency. In another game, the Leafs faced a heavy loss against the St. Louis Blues. Reuters stated, Blues stay hot, crush Maple Leafs. The team conceded 6 goals in that match. Defensive breakdowns were visible early in the game. The Blues maintained control throughout, and the Leafs were unable to recover. This result increased discussion around team structure and in-game adjustments. As these results came in, media coverage across Canada began focusing on coaching decisions. Analysts pointed to defensive organization and game management. The combination of a close win and a heavy loss created a mixed performance pattern. This inconsistency became a key topic in discussions about the team's direction. Craig Berube addressed the situation in a recent interview. According to Sportsnet, he said, "It's been my life." The statement referred to his long career in hockey. He acknowledged the uncertainty around his position. Reports noted that he is aware of the pressure but continues to focus on his role. His comments did not indicate any change in status, but they reflected the ongoing situation. The situation around Craig Berube did not slow down after the initial reaction. Instead, discussion expanded across league coverage as analysts compared this case to past NHL decisions.